All right, let's talk about a fun, interesting science topic called scientific notation. And you see here this number that I've written. This is a number we're going to use a lot this year in chemistry, and it is called a mole. It's actually Avogadro's number. Avogadro was a 18th century scientist who, in his studies of chemistry, developed this number for reasons that we'll see later in the year. But we have this number in chemistry. Now, this is a 6 with 23, basically 23 zeros after it. The 2 you can leave in, this 2 you can leave in here. We'll make it a 0. It doesn't really matter in a number this big. But we don't want to write this number every time we use it in chemistry. Similar to when you're texting, you use BRB, LOL, TYTTL, whatever that is. In chemistry, we have similar shorthand. Just like your texting has shorthand, we have similar shorthand to write big and small numbers, and it's called scientific notation. It's very simple. All you do is you take a number like, let's say that I have a number like 1,000. Okay? Instead of writing 1,000, we're going to split this number into 2 parts. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to move the decimal point until we only have a less than 10 number. So I'm going to move it 1, 2, 3 spots there. Now I'm left with 1.00. 1 is less than 10, and it's greater than 0. So a number between 0 and 10. Okay, so I write 1, and then I'm going to multiply it. Now, in this case, I move 3 spaces to the left. So to get back to the original number, I need to multiply it by 10 3 times. Each time you move to the left, that's another 10 that you've got to account for. So this would become 1 times 10 to the 3. If you multiply 1 times 10 times 10 times 10, you get 1,000. This is a number written in scientific notation. This part of the number is called the mantissa. So if you hear me refer later in the year to the mantissa, this is the mantissa, and this is just the exponent, or the power of 10. Okay, so what about a small number? So let's go 0.0000000051. Well, again, I'm going to move the decimal point until I have a number between 0 and 10. So I'm going to move the decimal point. We'll see here. We're going to move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I stop there because now I have 5.1. And I move the decimal point 10 spots that way. So then my number will become 5.1 times 10. And since I moved it 10 spots, it's going to be 10 to the 10th. So the number of spots you move becomes this exponent here. Up here we moved it 3 spots to the left, so we made a positive 3. Here we moved it 10 spots to the right, so you make it a negative 10. So the only rule to really remember here is this. If you move right, negative exponent, negative exp for exponent. If you move left, it's a positive exponent. So I'm going to give you one problem here to practice. So here's our problem to practice. Let's try, let's go big number. So we'll go 6340001. Okay? If you want to pause the video and take a second and see what that would be in scientific notation. Put the decimal point there. I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I stop there. So now I have 6.3 and I move 6 spaces. So times 10 to the 6, I move to the left. So this would be a positive 6. All right. The opposite, taking a number that's in scientific notation and unwinding it, so to speak, or writing it out, should be I don't want to patronize you, but I think let's do one together here. Say 5.3 times 10 to the negative 4. So to do this, I write 5.3, and I'm leaving myself space both on the right and the left here. It's a negative. So when we do this number, this means this is a very small number. A negative exponent means small number. So I need to make this a small number, not a big number, so I'm going to move to the left 4 spots. So there was 1, 2, 3, 4. Put the decimal point there. And now in these little holes, I'm just going to put zeros. So 5.3 times 10 to the negative 4 becomes this number, 0.0053. Let's try, I always do 6, I guess. 6.41 times 10 to the third. Again, you can pause if you want and think about what this will be. But we'll put the answer here. So it's 6, and this exponent is bigger than, it's a positive number, so this is a big number. So it's going to be 6. And then I'm going to move the decimal point 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. So it's 6, 4, 1. And then in this space here, that's a hole. Anytime you have a hole like we did up here with these, you add a 0. So I'm going to put a 0, and there's our answer. So that is scientific notation in a nutshell. We'll have some to practice in class. Let me know if you have questions, and I'll see you next lesson.